The presence of Giancarlo Stanton looms large. He's been a one-man wrecking crew against the Giants his entire career. And the first Giant to face Stanton in this series is Tim Hudson. Hudson is coming off a strong start against the Angels. Tonight, he takes on Stanton and the Marlins, and it's all coming up next. Thursday night baseball here at the corner of 3rd and King as we get ready for Giants baseball. Game 1 of this 4-game series, Marlins and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, normally this is where we talk about the starting pitching or maybe the lineup, but we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to talk about a young man who's going to pick up his World Series ring, former Giant Michael Morse.
Well, and you're right. We're talking about an opponent, Michael Morse, who really has been on the shelf the last 3 days because he's been in a slump. He's hitting 190 with a couple of home runs and 8 RBIs. Why are we talking about this guy? Because he had 2 of the biggest hits last year as the Giants won the World Championship. When he tied that ball game in Game 5 against the Cardinals in the NLCS. And, of course, who had the game-winning hit in Game 7 of the World Series? It was Michael Morse. So we will salute him in this pregame show and before the game. But after that, what do we wish?
0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. We're not asking for too much. All right, when we come back, you will get a look at Michael Morse as he receives his ring before the game. And we will watch that right after this.
Morse is back in town. He was a great Giant last season. Offensive contributions. Tonight, he gets his ring to get us started. Rennell, Brooks, Moon, take it away.
And now, fans, please direct your attention to the area behind home plate for a special presentation. Tonight, we celebrate a player who played an integral role in the Giants' journey to the 2014 World Series championship.
Swing the ground ball, Bader! Morse hits a little liner into center field. That's going to get down base hit. Morse lines one into right field. That's a base hit. And the Giants are back ahead 3-2.
How many times have we said that Michael Morse, when he is a threat?
Swinging. There's a high drive down the left field line, hooking toward the corner. Goodbye! It's tied up. And pandemonium reigns at AT Park.
He worked hard to recover and get back on the field in time to help his teammates go all the way to the 2014 World Series. No one will forget the critical game-tying pinch hit home run in Game 5 of the NLCS, not to mention his go-ahead single that drove in the eventual game-winning run in Game 7 of the World Series. His love and enthusiasm for the game was felt throughout AT Park and the entire San Francisco community. Please, everybody, help us welcome back to AT Park, Michael Morse! Please welcome Giants President and CEO Larry Baer and Giants Manager Bruce Bochy.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Yeah. Decent hardware. For the rest of your life. You're a moment. Thank you. Rest of your life. Thank you. Thank you. The teammates all wanted to be here for you.
Beautiful Tiffany box, everybody. Congratulations, Michael. Let's give him 3 big yeses, everybody. Yes! Yes! Yes!
Michael Morse, an infectious energy. You'll see him Game 1 coming up against the Marlins. Stay with us.
presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free. Visit online for park hours at beachboardwalk.com. 62 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds quite high, humidity at 53%, and it is mostly cloudy. All right, let's take a look at the Marlins lineup. The Marlins come in with a record of 13-15. It'll be Gordon. D. Gordon is having a great year, followed by Prado. Giancarlo Stanton, and his numbers against the Giants lifetime very good. Ozuna, Suzuki, and the former Giant Michael Morris. It'll be J2 Realmuto, who will do the catching, hitting seventh, and Echeverria and Dan Herron.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the right-hander Tim Hudson. Hudson 6'1", 175-pounders, 39 years old in his 17th year at the big league level, making start number 6. He's been good, 1-2 record with a 3.78 ERA. Hasn't always had great run support, but look at the hits and walks. You combine them, 38 and 33 and a third. That's outstanding. Base sinker, you'll see high 80, an occasional 90 sink. He'll cut that fastball. He'll give you a curveball, slider, changeup, split, whatever feels good.
So here's the first pitch of the ball game to D. Gordon, and we get underway at 7:16 on a pitch that was wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Gordon hitting .430.
Yeah, he's been red hot.
And you can see where Duffy's playing in at third. And he bounces this one to Panic to Belt, and that's how this game gets started.
Let's take a look at that defense for the Giants, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Aoki, Pagan, and Maxwell. Maxwell with the best arm in the outfield. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt on the right side. And Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs for Tim Hudson, who's 15-4 lifetime with a 2.87 lifetime ERA against these Marlins.
Here's Martin Prado. We've seen Prado in a number of different uniforms. This year, it's the Marlins and the pitch, and it's high, 1 ball and no strikes. Teammates together with the Braves, Hudson and Prado. Prado 4 for 11 in his career against Hudson. And the Giants right-hander kicks and deals, and it's foul back, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Marlins arrived in San Francisco last night after their ball game. They were in Washington, D.C., and they won 7-5. The pitch. Ooh, just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. I beg your pardon. That's a called strike. They lost 7-5 in Washington. Washington took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. Foul down the right field line and out of play. By the way, who was that umpire that just messed me up? Mark Wegner.
Mark Wegner. And Mark Wegner's strike zone can be tight, but you will see knee-high strikes. You'll see some high strikes. You just don't see big corners.
Foster, Malinsky, and Winters from first to third. And he pokes at this one, and he flips it into right field for a base hit. So here's Giancarlo Stanton, McDonald's True Stories. Most home runs against the Giants since Stanton's first game against San Francisco on 7/26/2010. Goldschmidt, Giancarlo Stanton, Gonzalez, and Kemp. And the reason Stanton is so impressive, it's only 31 games. Three for 18 lifetime against Hudson. That's what Stanton is. And the pitch, and there's a strike, the challenge, and it's 0-1. See the protection to the left side of Stanton's face. He was late in the year last year. He was hit right in the face. Did not keep the Marlins from signing him to a very long contract. Bouncing ball foul, -2.
I didn't think I'd ever see anybody take batting practice like Barry Bonds took batting practice, but this guy, I mean, he could hit in the same group with Barry Bonds and not have to really be intimidated because he can hit him a long way.
You don't have to even have a written invitation from Mark McGwire to join that group.
Yeah, he'd be in the cage. Amazing power, and we're talking from line to line. If there's anybody that could hit one into the McCovey Cove right-handed, it would be Stanton. And it's never been done by right-handed.
Low and away, 1-2. The overshift is on. Panic to the left of second. Different weather. It's a bit muggy. It's the type of weather you would have in Florida if it were 62 degrees in Florida. Tap foul. Stanton stays alive. You can see Hudson staying away from Giancarlo Stanton. On deck is Marcell Ozuna, the Marlins center fielder. One and two. Base hit left field. Ichiro will get it back in. So back-to-back singles. Here's Ozuna.
Just a hanger, middle in. This is one that you have to be pretty happy stayed in the ballpark. And he rifles this thing on 2 hops all the way out to outfield and left field. And, I mean, you don't have a lot of range as an outfielder when Giancarlo Stanton is hitting, just because he hits the ball too hard. His line drives go out a lot harder than anybody else's. Unbelievable strength.
Here's Ozuna. And he takes down low.
Well, Ozuna's been hot.
Ozuna yesterday, well, hot before yesterday. He was 0 for 5 yesterday. And he bounces this one foul. Ichiro on deck. A long look to second. And a bouncing ball to Duffy. Duffy will go around the horn, and that'll end the inning. So Hudson gets the double play. Alki to lead things off.
Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
No score. Giants are coming up here in the bottom of the first inning. And it'll be Aoki, Panic, and then Angel Pagan. Good numbers against Dan Herron. Posey, the cleanup hitter, followed by Maxwell, Crawford, and Duffy, and Hudson will pitch in bat ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Marlins will be Dan Herron, an 11-year veteran. Big guy, 6'5", 215-pounder is what he has done in 5 starts. Off to a great start with Miami. 3-1 with a 2.70 ERA. You're going to see a high 80s fastball. He'll sink it, he'll cut it. Curveball, slider, changeup. He'll throw a lot at you. We first saw Dan Herron come up with the Cardinals, and he was a 95+ thrower, but those days are gone. Now he's a finesse guy.
Inside to Aoki, hitting at 289.
Herron, lifetime against the Giants, 6-6, but with an ERA under 3 at 2.94.
And the 1-1. And this is foul down the right field line.
Let's take a look at the Marlins defense starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Suzuki, Ozuna, and Stanton. That's your outfield. All with very good arms. Echeverria and Prado on the left side. The right side of the defense for the Marlins will be Gordon and Morse. And Real Muto, the catcher, will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
3-2.
Joe Panic waiting patiently on deck.
On the ground to third, and Prado is right there. So here's Joe Panic. Panic takes a strike. He's hitting 290, 2 home runs, 9 driven in. And Joe shoots this one foul, but opposite way.
Take a look at the motion from Herron. A very distinct pause as he gets gathered on his back leg. Picks up his target late, big drop of the arm, but once that front foot lands, that hand's in a high position, and he's got a very repeatable stroke for a guy who's 6'5". Very, very compact motion. Our Exmo brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. How about Ken Walling, our ball dude down the third base side?
Dealing.
The old left-hander.
Panic out of play. Stays 1-2.
The old left-hander.
Paul Robinson on the first base line. Paul a little shy.
A little camera shy.
Yeah, the witness protection.
It was a great shot of the back of his head. There's Paul.
Two pitch to Joe Panic. Foul back. Angel Pagan to follow. Bottom of the first inning.
Not big corners with Mark Wegner's strike zone. Where he makes up for it, though, he'll give you knees and he'll give you belts. You'll see low and high strikes.
Out of play again.
When you think about it, I mean, Mark Wegner's kind of a rule book strike zone. All right, breaking out the blankets. Veterans. This is not their first rodeo.
Got him. Round one goes to Dan Herron against Panic, and here's Pagan. Pagan hitting .340 with 8 runs batted in. Does have some ownage on Danny Herron. And he takes a strike. Posey to follow. And this is skied into shallow right center field. It'll be Ozuna to put it away, and that'll end the inning. Top of the second coming up. It'll be Ichiro and then Michael Morris, followed by Real Muto. It's 0-0.
Check out the Giants graduation pack. It includes tickets to 2 games plus a commemorative class of 2015 Giants cap and SF tassel. Pack start as low as $45. Go to sfgiants.com/minipack.
0-0. Here's Ichiro. And he takes a called strike, hitting .291, a home run, 8 driven in. 65 lifetime at bats against Tim Hudson. This is a soft line drive to Duffy, 1 out. And here's Michael Morris. Let's hear the reception from Michael.
Batting 6th, first baseman, number 38, Michael Morris.
Morris hitting at 193. And there's a strike at the knees. He has had 27 at bats against Hudson. 6 hits, one of the hits a double. Here's a Michael Morris thing. On the ground and a base hit. Time for our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. Game 5 of the 2014 NLCS. Michael Morris pinch hit home run. John Miller with the call.
Neshek's 1-1 pitch. Swing, and there's a high drive down the left field line, hooking toward the corner. Goodbye! It's tied up, and Michael Morris hits the long ball that Bruce Bochy was hoping he'd hit.
Yeah, he could have ran for mayor or governor and won it at that particular moment.
Well, you're right. But if he would have run against Travis Ishikawa, he would have lost.
Well, he had to run earlier than that. So here's Real Muto. Right-handed hitter, no balls and 1 strike. And it's low to even the count. 250, 6 runs batted in.
A couple of big, tall hitters right there.
Big chopper. Duffy. That's 1. And they'll not get 2.
Just too much height on the ground ball. And Real Muto, he runs pretty well for a catcher. Not a lot of backswing for Real Muto as he got out of the batter's box. But nevertheless, I mean, you're still impressed with how Panic got rid of the ball.
Here's Echeverria. In the dirt, blocked by Posey.
Echeverria's got good numbers. I mean, you look at what he's done hitting down the 8th spot. 308 with 2 home runs and 17 RBIs. I mean, that's a guy that's bushwhacking on you down deep in the lineup. Straight away in the outfield, straight away in the middle of the infield, even with a bag at third. And it tells you how he uses the field. He hits it everywhere.
And a quick toss. Check out Michael Morris. He comes in, and at the end, he kind of just lifts his leg up a little bit. And Joe kind of looked at him like, dude, we have the same ring.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
He just hugged you 10 minutes ago behind home plate.
What's up with that?
And then you hung on a little too long, too. That's the position where you have to be really careful. You find out how far friendship goes when they try to break up too.
It's the same thing about pitching inside. Sometimes the hardest guys to pitch in are the guys that you used to play with. Your ex-teammates. I didn't want to know that the guy in the batter's box was a good guy or that he had a wife and 3 kids. I didn't want to know that.
And a strike to Echeverria, who's 0 for 3 lifetime against Hudson. Heron is on deck. Tap foul, 3-2. My roommate at Southern Illinois and in the College World Series and in summer ball was probably played against him, Jimmy Dwyer.
Indeed.
And our first year in A-ball, he was in Modesto and I was in Reno. The very first game we played against each other, he clipped me for 6 stitches in my ankle, breaking up a double play.
So much for old friends.
And I thought, really? So this is what pro ball's all about, and a base hit to right field. Moving over to third will be Real Muto and Echeverria with a base hit.
But that really is what professional baseball is all about. But that's kind of the way Jimmy Dwyer played.
Well, yeah, I should have expected it.
Played it hard. Had some good years with the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was hard to get mad at Jimmy Dwyer. He's a good dude.
Herron's not a bad hitter.
Into right center field. And guess what, folks? This is going to hurt. 1 run scores. Echeverria scores. Herron with his first hit of the year, and it's 2-0.
Now, he hit that like he's an everyday player. With the sinker from Hudson, it's going to move back in to a right-hander. If you try and pull it, you hit a little ground ball. You stay inside it, head down, you think opposite gap, and that's how you beat it. That's a good throw of the bat head. And drives it right through Triple's alley. Ouch.
Well, not out of the woods is here's Gordon. And Gordon shows bunt and he takes low.
I was really surprised in the offseason when the Dodgers traded this guy. All-star last year for Los Angeles. And I don't think he's even close to how good he's going to be.
Wraps this one fair down the left field line. That's going to score Herron, and Gordon's got a double, and it's 3-0.
And that's the thing about D. Gordon. I mean, he hits the ball line to line. It's a lot of solid contact. He really doesn't have to hit the ball hard to get on base because he's got such great speed. Oh, out of the middle of the plate, stays inside it. Another nice approach, going with movement. You really don't get a lot of range if you're playing third base because you have to go in so far into the infield grass to respect the bunt.
So here's Martin Prado, who singled in the first. And the pitch is down low. Hudson was a pitch from retiring the side with Echeverria at the plate. Two doubles followed that base hit by Echeverria. And a strike. Gordon's got 12 steals. He's showing signs that he might like to take off.
Hudson, teammates with Martin Prado for a long time in Atlanta. 5 years or more. Strapping around together.
Third ball for a strike, 1-2. Check swing roller. It'll be Panic to Belt, and that'll end the inning. So, Herron's hit the big one. Gordon follows it with a hit. Buster Posey's going to lead things off. It's 3-0 Marlins.
report on Hunter Pence, a great BP this afternoon. He still has to be evaluated if all goes well, gentlemen. He starts a rehab tomorrow in Sacramento. It'll be longer than usual because he lost all of spring training, but very good news. Sacramento, get ready. Hunter Pence tomorrow. Dwayne?
Here's Posey. Thanks, Amy. And he takes a call strike. Herron now pitching with the lead. Buster at 276, 4 home runs, 11 driven in. Herron not now just because he's got a lead, but even in the first inning, just gets the ball back now and throwing it. You got to be ready if you're a hitter.
He likes to work quick. Good front runner.
Posey skies one to right. Stanton moving over, and he'll get there and make the catch. Herron has retired 4 in a row, and here's Belt. Here's Belt. Belt showing signs of coming out of his early season funk. He's at 261. He's 1 for 6 in his career against Herron. Up high, 1-2. Belt yesterday, the day game where the Giants lost to the Padres 9-1. Belt went 2 for 3. Inside, it's 2-2. Foul back. On deck is Justin Maxwell. There's Maxwell. He just joined us. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Marlins. Giants have not had a base runner. Belt, hard ground ball to Gordon.
Time now for our AT U-verse rewind. And we're talking about Brandon Belt. Well, yesterday, 2 balls off the wall. 1 in the 4th off Ian Kennedy for a double. Then in the 6th inning, he goes off the wall, high off the wall in the triples alley for a triple. And that's our AT U-verse rewind.
Here's Maxwell. Maxwell shoots it in the hole for a base hit. The Giants trying to do what the Marlins did, and that's put some runs on the board after 2 outs.
A little 2-out thunder. But Danny Herron, I mean, he's got a lot of confidence in all of his pitches. Exceptional command with everything. 41% of the time you're going to see a fastball, but he'll give you 2 types of movement with it. And then his slider is not a big one. He can make it bigger. He's got a little finesse with that pitch. He'll throw the splitter about 7% of the time. The curveball, you know, if they're working, he'll use them. Otherwise, he'll steal strikes with them.
So Crawford takes a strike, hitting at 253. Crawford with 5 home runs, 15 driven in. Bounces this one foul behind Billy Hayes. It's 0-2.
Oh yeah, cotton candy. Finger licking good.
Good for 3 innings. Tops. 0-2 with Duffy to hit if Crawford extends the inning. Maxwell goes, and it's pulled foul down the right field line into the seats.
Tell you what, that was the jump of the year right there off Danny Herron. Justin Maxwell could have stolen that base standing up. Take a look. I mean, that's 4 steps into it, almost 5.
Crawford with a base hit to right field. So here's Duffy. Duffy 2 for 3 last night. Went 2 for 4 on Tuesday. And look, tonight's a reward story.
Well, I mean, he's not a professional player in the world that doesn't know the deal. One guy's cold, another guy steps in to give that guy who's cold a few days off. You get hot, you're going to play. So that's your motivation. And right now, that Duffy's got a good swing going.
He's never faced Herron before. And he rolls this one towards the hole, but Prado cuts it off, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Third inning coming up, 3-0 Marlins.
In the top of the first, and look at the hit that gets put on Joe Panik by Justin Upton. And folks, I cannot tell you how close it was to a serious knee injury for Joe Panik, and indeed he completed the double play. That's our T-Mobile game changer.
Here's Stanton to lead things off, and Stanton takes a curveball for a strike. 3-0 Marlins, 3 in the second. Here's the 0-1, and Stanton with a big swing and a miss, 0-2. Got him.
Got him to go down and pitches below the strike zone.
Strikeout for left hand.
Set the target wide, little slider, just dives down below the zone. And Stanton, this is really something that has plagued him early this year. He has not been able to stay in the strike zone.
Ozuna on the ground and a big hop to Crawford. 2 out. Tuesday, May 19th is Japanese Heritage Night at the ballpark. You need a special event ticket to get the Travis Ishikawa bobblehead with the sound chip on John Miller's call and Travis's historic NLCS home run. A lot of other things going on. Visit sfgiants.com/special events. Ichiro takes a call strike.
Ichiro, lifetime 4,145 hits.
Foul back and out of play.
He played 9 years in Japanese leagues. And you combine the hits that he had, 1,278 in Japan, with what he has had over here. Amazing numbers. There you see what Hudson throws. Coming into this at bat, Ichiro with 2,867 at bats in 14 years here in the big leagues.
Right back to Hudson. And that will end the inning. So Hudson with a nice comeback 7-pitch inning. Hudson, Aoki, Panic coming up.
Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Here's Heron to Hudson. It's 3-0 in favor of the Marlins. It'll be Hudson, who's 0 for 9, and then Aoki and Panic. Hudson's going to open up the inning with his first hit of the year.
Well, what do you say we make it our forward right choice? Why not? Danny Heron got a hit off Hudson, so Hudson steps up. First pitch he sees. Doink's a little blooper down the left field line. That, folks, is a big league knock. And that's our forward right choice.
Aoki bounced out to third. So it's always a good thing when the pitcher opens up the inning with a base hit. And that pitch is low from Heron.
Heron's one of those guys that he's never really going to give in to. He really can't. We just saw the same type of situation with Jared Weaver with the Angels. He doesn't throw real hard. Well, Heron didn't throw real hard either. So he is going to throw a lot of junk at you. He's not going to throw you fastballs and fastball counts. Not going to make many mistakes out over the strike zone.
The problem with guys like Heron is just about the time you figure him out, which is your third at bat, he's gone. You'd like him to stay in there for a while. Double play ball. That's one. And that's two. Hit hard enough that Gordon didn't have to field it cleanly, and he's feeling it off his chest.
take a look at the hop that Gordon gets. Oh boy, I mean, that's right above the glove, hit him high in the chest, not that far away from the throat after it hits the heel of his glove. That just hit too hard. Even the speed of Aoki, not enough to stay out of double play.
Here's Panic. Panic struck out in the first inning, so the leadoff base hit by Hudson is wiped out.
I mean, is that about right? 3 at bats to figure out a guy who's that far underneath the hitting speed?
Absolutely. I got him down now. Oh, they're going to the bullpen. Panic pops this one up. And Ichiro in front of Ozuna puts it away. After 3, it's 3-0 Marlins.
Is brought to you by PG&E. Together, building a better California.
Marlins with 3 runs in the second. Janice got bit by the big inning in yesterday's game. 5 runs in the third hurt Chris Heston. It's just another base hit for Morris as he goes the other way.
Well, if you're looking for the best coverage of San Francisco Giants baseball, log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants season, breaking news, videos, special features, and lots more. Go to csnbayarea.com.
They're going to have to start booing the guy.
He's hard to boo.
Did that guy just double up on the slider?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Finger
You can do that?
Yeah, don't let it fall. Yep.
On the ground, could be a pair. And it is a pair. Panic had enough time to low bridge Morris if he wanted to.
Well, explain the low bridge.
Well, you want that guy to slide, you got to drop down a little bit. Well, didn't have to. Although it could have.
So if you can throw sidearm, I mean, that's an asset if you're a middle infielder, well, second baseman.
Sidearm, underarm, behind your back. Absolutely.
It all helps.
Here's Echeverria. And a strike to Echeverria.
Well, how else are you going to protect yourself?
Well, not much you can do. The 0-1 pitch is outside and low. Echeverria had a base hit to right field. Eventually scored in the second. And it's 1-2. For the Giants in the bottom of the fourth, they'll have Pagan, Posey, and Belt coming up. There you go. Tapped up the middle. Crawford charging wisely, and that'll end the inning. A 6-pitch inning for Jim Hudson. Yeah, we want to get that. Double them up. Let's go. Oh.
San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Here at AT&T Park, the Marlins with 3 in the second. They lead 3-0. And Angel Pagan's going to lead things off against Dan Herron. Pagan popped out to the center fielder Ozuna to end the first inning.
Stylen cannot be better dressed than that. I'm sorry.
Any part of that repertoire that they're wearing that you're more fond of than others? No, not really.
Well, I think I can find a favorite part. Oh yeah, oh, that guy.
Swing and a miss, nothing in 2.
All right, what do you think Mom just said?
You guys follow me and then sit down and mess with your dad and leave me alone. Down the left field line, and Ichiro has no chance because it's in the seats. On 2. A 1-2. We asked Pagan if we could see his finger today. He said, nope. It doesn't look very good. You don't want to see it. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He says it hurts more to swing the bat right-handed than left-handed. I always wanted to do this.
Yeah, me too. Pagan rolls it foul. Billy Hayes says, that might be a little too hard for me.
Yeah, one more time just for you, Parker.
Oh my gosh, that's like scratching an itch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Up the middle, off the heel of Herod. It caroms to Prado, and they did not get him. Pagan sniffing out a hit.
Well, I'm surprised with Pagan's speed they even had a chance, but Martin Prado really reacted beautifully to this as it caromed off of the foot of Heron. Let's take a look. How safe was it? Boy, that was bang bang right there.
Yeah, he beat it up.
But not for lack of effort from Martin Prado. That was one that Miami will not challenge. They were looking at it.
So shake your head sideways and then thumbs up. Here's Posey. Buster flied out to right field in the second. Here he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Saw Rob Leary, the bench coach for the Marlins, getting the don't challenge information from the clubhouse. Generous strike right there. You don't see many that wide with Mark Wegner strikes in the air.
I was going to say. 0-2. On the ground, could be a pair. And it is a pair. Check in with Amy G.
All right, guys, 2001, Ichiro made his major league debut, and Nori Aoki was an 18-year-old kid in Japan hoping to be a professional baseball player. Nori told me today that Ichiro's impact on Japan monumental. He was every boy's idol, and the two have since become friends. In 2006, they met at the World Baseball Classic. Ichiro says he always checks in on Nori's games, hoping he does well. Gentlemen?
A fellow countryman should.
Well, why would you?
Here's Belt. Belt drives it into right field, a base hit.
That average just continues to climb every day. He's hot.
He's just not been able to put some hits together. Here's Maxwell.
First pitch breaking ball, little slider trying to steal strike one. Boom, it just drops the head. It's the lower body plant. Head stays so still. But I mean, that's as quick a swing as a tall hitter as I can remember.
Maxwell singled in the second. And a little dribbler out in front of home plate. Heron gets to it. He throws, and they just got him, and that'll end the inning. 2 hits in the inning, nothing to show for it. 5th inning coming up. Massive
for another 3-game series. Tuesday, May 19th, Wednesday, the 20th are both 7:15 starts. And the final game of the series, Thursday, May 21st, day of baseball in the city. That's a 12:45 start. sfgiants.com/tickets. Check it out.
Here's Danny Herron. And Herron takes a strike. Herron's hit has been the biggest hit in this game. And that was a double to knock in 2 runs in the second. And it's a quick 0-2 with Gordon on deck.
Talk about how good a hitter he is. I mean, that was his first hit of the year, but he's a lifetime 207 hitter. I mean, he hit over 200. I mean, you can hit as a pitcher. Couple of home runs.
And that one had a little bit too much of the plate. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Herron traded over to the Marlins in the offseason from the Dodgers along with D. Gordon. Danny Herron initially said, I'm not going. I don't want to leave Southern California. It's where my home is. I've got kids. I just don't want to do it. But he changed his mind, and he's having a good start to the season.
Down the right field line, Belt will run out of room.
Big hit tonight has been the Danny Herron double with 2 outs, 2 on. He splits the gap and triples alley. He would knock in 2, and then he would get knocked in a hitter later with D. Gordon coming up with another double, and that has been all the scoring.
Towards the hole, and Herron's 2 for 2. Go figure.
Yeah, having fun. Lots of good attitude there.
A lot of braces.
Did you wear braces?
I didn't even know what they were.
I had them.
I don't think I ever saw a kid in our school. Gordon doubled in the second. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, the state of Wisconsin, the dairy state, all that milk you drink, dairy products, good strong teeth up there.
Absolutely, straighten them right out. Up the middle. Hudson knocks it down. He will get the out. Aaron ends up at second. A bruise for an out, isn't that what you say?
Well, I don't think they would have been able to double up D. Gordon. He just runs too fast. As hard as that ball was hit, I just don't think they could have gotten a double play at the back end of it. Because this ball was hit well. A skimmer, get the 1 out. And as it was a nice play from Hudson.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt he's disappointed he didn't hang on to that ball to at least maybe get a shot at it. Here's Prado, who's 1 for 2. Each team has turned 2 double plays in this game. And a strike, and it's 0-1. This guy said, "This is all mine, and I'm not sharing."
I've seen that before many times with you, as a matter of fact.
In the movies. Yep. Plus, the great thing about that is you can refill that. It doesn't cost you anything.
That's true.
Out of play. And I know they didn't bring that from home.
There's a share mode. He is the most valuable player in that section. That's something I've never seen you do. Share your popcorn.
0-2. Little flare that's going to fall. Pagan gets to it. Herron's going to hold up. So Prado's got another hit. And Stanton's going to hit.
Well, this is the biggest at bat of the ball game for Tim Hudson. And a guy stepping in the batter's box has got 27 RBIs on the year and 7 home runs, and he's not even swinging the bat well. Pure strikeout situation, but I mean, you take a ground ball obviously to get out of the inning. Well, for Hudson, he's got to give an A effort here.
Just a rocket, and Pagan's going to make the catch, and that'll be a sacrifice fly. It's 4-0.
Pagan did not have a lot of time to get to that ball.
So here's Ozuna, who's 0 for 2. There's a strike at the knees.
Best seat in the house right there.
They think they're taking a lap.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best things to do in this ballpark, especially if you've got a 2 or 3 year old. Lots of things to see.
Hit up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Prado's going to move to third. And Ichiro's going to hit.
A look of concern for pitching coach Dave Righetti.
It's 10 hits in 4 2/3 innings.
Now, what a pitching coach sees from a sinker ball is if he's hitting the ball on the ground. If he's elevating, he's going to give up line drives and fly balls. If he's putting the ball on the ground, he's still got to sink. Pitch count not an issue tonight with Tim Hudson. He's only got 62 pitches coming into this at bat with Ichiro. George Contos is heading down the pin.
One 1-0 to Ichiro. There's a strike.
Similarities in Ichiro swing and Nori Aoki swing are striking. And you can tell as Aoki idolized this guy, he spent a lot of time trying to be like him, and he succeeded.
And it's now 1-2, so back-to-back strikes.
Ichiro has struck out 7 times this year in 81 at bats.
Crawford will shove it at the panic, and that'll end the inning. So a run in. Aaron scores the run here in the 5th. Work to do for the Giants. Playoff round with Memphis will start at 4 p.m. on Saturday on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area and CSNBayArea.com. Pre and post and Sportsnet Central coverage. Check it out. 4-0 Marlins. As Crawford's going to lead things off, and he will take the pitch low. Giants have had base runners. They've hit into 2 double plays. And this is skied out into right field. Stanton coming in. A lot of time between the Warriors' second game and their third game.
Yeah, it would seem like tomorrow would be the game.
Or today.
You have to wait till Saturday.
Let me guess. Television driven.
Well, you're probably right.
Here's Duffy, who bounced out in the second. Duffy hitting at 259. And he takes inside with Hudson to follow. There's a swing and a miss. Duffy trying to reach, and he will not.
That is a rough walk back to the dugout when you take a call strike 3, especially for a young player.
Well, especially when you're facing a guy that doesn't throw hard. So here's Hudson, who singled in the 4th. And he swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike. Marlins 4, Giants nothing.
Take a look at the 2 pitchers in tonight's ball game and their swings. As I mentioned, Herron. Well, they're both good hitters.
3 strikeouts now for Herron. We'll head to the 6th. 4-0.
where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right, on StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. Plus, with the StubHub app, you can buy and sell Giants tickets anytime, anywhere, right from your smartphone. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the San Francisco Giants.
Here's Michael Morris, who's 2 for 2. It's 4-0 Florida. And Hudson said, all right, if you're going to go the other way, I'm going to pound you in.
That's exactly what he was saying. He'd really been in a bad funk, hitting 193 coming into this ball game. Did not play the last 3 days. Kind of cool him off a bit. Reboot. Giants are doing a similar situation with Casey McGee. That was a hang and breaking ball that Tim Hudson just got away with.
Dodgers beat Milwaukee today to end that series. They won 14-4. That's very high and wide, 2-2. And in Arizona, the D-backs are shutting out San Diego 8-0. That game in the 6th inning.
Yeah, the starter in that game for the Padres was Adriusimar Espana, a guy who the Giants just cannot figure out.
Morris gone. And here's Realmuto. Realmuto is 0 for 2. You want one of those?
Yes, I do.
I don't think I could ever turn down a hot dog at the ballpark.
Nope.
What am I talking about at the ballpark? Anywhere.
That's
There's
right.
Mr. Double Up. Look at him, he's doubling up the cheese.
He's dealing.
Uh-oh. Put some pine tar on that cheese. Here's the 1-0. On the ground, into the hole. Crawford cuts it off. Takes a crow hop and a throw. 2 down.
Realmuto retired. Realmuto is from Oklahoma. Signed out at Carl Albert High School. I know you find that interesting. Because you were in Oklahoma City. Not too far away from where he was from.
Here's Echeverria. That foul, and it's 0-1.
Playing in Oklahoma City was a ballpark that had wind that went across the field at a gale every night. So one side of the field was as live could be, but the other side of the field, you couldn't hit it through the wind to hit it out.
No balls and 1 strike. I think the ballpark you're talking about, Mike, is long gone. They got a new one now.
Well, I'm sure they do.
And the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. We used to pack them in, man. We'd draw 200 people a game.
Well,
and that was on a giveaway night.
The American Association no longer. That league died out.
Well, a lot of the cities are still in a league. There's a base hit to right field. A lot of opposite field hitting tonight for the Marlins.
No, I think that's a very good approach against a sinker baller like Tim Hudson. So clearly they have had a plan.
And Herron, who's 2 for 2, and the worst part about being 2 for 2 is he scored 2 runs. And his 2 hits tonight are the first 2 he's had all year.
Well, she's got warm hands. She's got warm hands.
So Herron now falls behind 0-2. Hudson trying to get his team into the dugout. They trail 4-0. And that's strike 3, and he does, and that'll end the inning. So the Giants are at the top of the order. Nori Aoki trying to get something going. It's 4-0 Marlins.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Here at AT Park, it's a 4-0 lead for the Marlins. And it'll be Nori Aoki to lead things off. Aoki tonight has bounced out twice, once into a double play. Panic, then Pagan and Posey. Giants need to get some base runners against Dan Herron. And that's bounced foul, and it's 0-1.
Here they are going through the lineup for the 3rd time. So first 2 at bats, you have to know what his velocity is, what his movement is, and you have to know what he's able to throw over the plate.
0-2.
So no surprises, but you have to have a plan.
Roll slowly. Gordon. And they got him. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, a really special moment before tonight's game. Michael Morse, now a Miami Marlin, was presented with his World Series ring. He spoke to the media before the game, saying the Giants organization is simply first class. He was asked where he's going to wear his ring and when, and he said all the time, everywhere. It's going to be too tough to take off. It was a very emotional moment. The entire Giants team came out to congratulate him and give him some love. Michael Morse. Energetic. We love that. Dwayne?
Very, very cool. There's Panic, who takes a ball.
Well, I like the fact that all of his teammates are telling him, open up the box, take a look.
Let's go. Two 2-0 to Joe Panic, who's 0 for 2. Three 3-0. The Giants get the base runner any way they can.
Watch this ground ball go back up the middle, and watch Herron reach out for it, then pull the glove back. Thinking he knows he's got a second baseman there. And he knows that if he had the ball deflect off his glove, there would be no play.
And that's lifted into center field, playable for Ozuna. And came in on that one at the very end, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Pagan.
Yeah, I think he was a little fooled by the fly of that baseball. Looks like it hit a wind wall out there and dropped straight down.
Here's Pagan, who takes a pitch low and away. Pagan with an infield hit in the 4th inning. Takes low again. And a strike, so Herron doesn't go to 3-0. He goes to 2-1. Pagan lifts it to center field. More work for Osuna. And he's going to put it away, and that'll end the inning. So Herron's been terrific. 7th inning coming up. It remains 4-0. Herron's done it on both ends. He's pitched well, and he's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs. See Hudson, 6 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. And D. Gordon's got a double and an RBI. And here's Gordon to lead things off. And he shoots it into right field, a base hit. So Gordon with a leadoff single. just what you don't want to have happen. And here's Prado.
Well, that's an appropriate hat on cool nights here in the Bay Area.
Prado's got a couple of hits. The Marlins have 12. And there's a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Prado will take the pitch here and give D. Gordon a chance to steal a base. Think about D. Gordon. I mean, he could steal a base. He's got 12 bags stolen on the year, but he's also been thrown out 6 times. And Hudson will give Posey a chance to throw him out. He's very quick to home.
Stanton on deck. Got him.
And he's also quick to first.
No argument from Gordon.
It didn't even have a lead, just a big lead. And that may have been a one-way lead back to the bag, and he just stretched it out too far. Nice slap tag put on it by Belt. And here is the verdict. Marty Foster says grab some pie and meat.
Well, they're not going to dispute that. Here's the 0-1 to Prado. On the dirt.
Well, that changes the whole at bat for Martin Prado.
Boy, does it ever.
And for Hudson, big changes. Now you're pitching to a guy out of the windup instead of the stretch.
Outside and low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Stanton on deck. And a strike, 2-2. How about Rockies closer Adam Ottavino this morning? Tommy John.
Unbelievable. Last team he pitched against was the Giants, and the night he pitched well.
Well, a base hit, his 3rd of the game against his old teammate. Prado's 3 for 4. Here's our Geico quote. Getting Carlos Stanton on his record-setting contract. This is not a lottery ticket. And then peace out. It's a huge responsibility, and I'm willing to take it.
Well, a 10-year deal for over $300 million. I mean, that is a lottery ticket. But the comments that he made when he inked that were fantastic, and he's backing it up. He's a hard worker, a leader in that clubhouse, and he is going to be the poster child for Major League Baseball in this next decade. This guy has talent, and he is just now starting to discover it. He is the real deal.
In tight. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
And we talked about the pitch that he took in the face last year. A lot of teams have gone right back in. I mean, which is no surprise anyway. He's a tall hitter. And you're going to pitch tall hitters who have longer arms in. They have to tell you that they can beat that pitch. But the league has been pounding him hard inside. So that's going in again. See the G on the protective piece for Giancarlo. I think that's pretty cool.
Really? Don't give the Packers any idea. 3-0 pitch is a strike. It's 3-1.
Stanton 6'6", 240 pounds, and there is not an ounce of fat under there. He is ripped.
Line to right, and Maxwell makes the diving catch. Well, he didn't have time to do much, but he got there in time.
And that's a ball that was also slicing away from him. Just gives you an idea of the type of power that Stanton has. I mean, you just don't have time as an outfielder. You really restrict your range with how fast the ball gets out there. It's an exceptional effort. A 6'6" guy hitting it to a 6'5" guy. And Maxwell needed every inch of that reach to gather it in. Nice play.
Here's Ozuna, who's 1 for 3. And there's a check swing foul.
Hits allowed tonight by Hudson. That's the most he's ever allowed in one start in his career. And he's in his 17th year at the big league level, so that's saying something about what the Marlins have done tonight.
Outside, it's a ball and a strike. Hit deep to left. Ozuna gone. And that breaks it open at 6-0. And for Ozuna, his first home run of the year. For a cleanup guy that doesn't have any home runs.
Well, I mean, he had 23 last year, so they know the power's in there. And here they set the target outside, and look at the glove from Posey. That comes all the way in at the belt. And that one hurt. And that was no cheapie.
So here's Ichiro. And he fouls it out of play. Ichiro's 0 for 3. Fourteen hits in this game for the Florida Marlins. 14 hits. Otto's got 3. A great play by Maxwell, and there's a base hit into center field. So Ichiro aboard. That's the 4th hit here in the 7th inning, and that's going to be it for Hudson. And Contos is going to come in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts. We'll be back. Ozuna with a 2-run home run here in the 7th.
New pitcher now for the Giants, George Cantos, 14th game that he is coming in. And the thing about Cantos is what he has done with inherited runners. He's inherited 4, and he has not allowed any of them to score. And that's the reputation you want to get. You want to be a guy who can come in and put out a fire. And he's being asked to do it here with a runner at first. I saw Cantos yesterday throw a curveball. First one he's thrown ever.
Here's Michael Morris, who's got 2 hits as he takes load. Well, why not if you got a good feel for what's going on?
Well, I mean, Cantos used to be a starter, so I mean, he has the curveball. And if Mark Gardner, Dave Getty finds out you have that, they're going to let you bring it out. May not be a kill pitch, but it's a pitch you can steal a strike with. Tim Hudson, the first Giants pitcher to allow 15 or more hits in a game since Gaylord Perry gave up 16 in September of 1968 against the Reds.
Tap softly foul.
Hudson did not walk anybody. Got to the 7th, just flat out ran out of gas.
Hit into right center field. Maxwell all over it, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs on the home run by Ozuna. It's 6-0 Marlins. With the Marlins leading 6-0. See if the Giants have something left to give the Marlins a finish. They've got 9 outs left in this game. And Posey opens up the 7th with a base hit. And that's how it started, and it was an unbelievable comeback.
And it all started out with a little single. Pitch count really not an issue with Herron. He's throwing 76 on the night. You know, as we mentioned, the 15 hits that Hudson allowed tonight, and it's the first time that's happened since Gaylord Perry gave up 16 back in the 60s. How do you get 16 hits off Gaylord Perry?
I know. Here's Belt, and what's even more amazing is how you keep track of these things.
But that's a stat that jumps out the page. Gaylord Perry, a Hall of Fame pitcher. Gave up 16. I'd like to know how many pitches he threw that night. That's a stat I don't have.
You can ask BI how many dry ones and how many wet ones.
Well, I don't think the wet ones are working that much if he's giving them 16 knocks.
0-2 to Belt. Belt is 1 for 2. Not close. There's Maxwell, who's got a base hit in this game.
Giants need an alarm clock base hit here. A big one. Wake everybody up in that dugout.
2-2. So Gaylord got the win in that game.
We're being told by the guys in the truck that it was a complete game. Giants won that ball game 10-4.
Belt with a base hit. Posey's going to go to third. Belt is going to go to second with a double.
Well, that'll pep up the attitude of the dugout. There's 2 strikes, swing of the bat.
So moving the line is Brandon Belt, and now Maxwell's going to try to do the same. See for Belt, 5th straight game with a double.
Yep, time to break out the rally scarf. Game of Abe's getting serious.
What she just did there takes me like 5 minutes.
She's had lots of practice with that scarf. Rally hat on.
Maxwell singled in the second. It went back to the pitcher in the 4th. Outside 1-0, and now we're seeing some bullpen activity.
Nick Massett very quickly heading down to the Marlins bullpen. Not a red alert yet. Just get up and get loose. Start stretching it out. 1-0 change up. Had Maxwell out front. Giants have had opportunities earlier in this game. Offensively, have not been able to come up with a money hit.
And that's pulled behind Roberto Kelly. It's 1-2 with Crawford on deck. Posey a single, Belt a double, second and third. Maxwell drives one right center field. Stanton's going to catch. Tagging is Posey, and the Giants are on the board. I do think Herron would make that trade at any time.
An out for a run with a 6-run lead, you bet he would. The Giants down to the last 9 outs. And that's the way that Herron is sort of calculating. Run for an out.
So here's Crawford. Crawford's 1 for 2. Crawford, deep right center field. And it's going to be Stanton who's going to make the catch. Not in this part.
Oh, man. That's got to be demoralizing for a hitter. It's another bolt off the bat head of Brandon Crawford. And he just gets AT&T. Breaking ball, out of pressed. But here, routiner.
Here's Duffy. Duffy's 0 for 2. Machi as he heads down to the bullpen. Down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Belcher's going to score. Duffy with a double. And it's 6-2. Stan's not so sure. Neither is Morris or Heron.
Take a look.
That's a foul ball.
I don't know. It looked like it may have caught the corner. All I have to do is touch that chalk line.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to review that. But that's about as. That's shaving the foul line as close as you could get to get a base hit.
So here's Hector Sanchez.
Just shave that piece, and that's all you have to do is touch it. Touch it, you're good. It's not a chalk line, it's paint, but still. Mike Redmond very quickly. You all right, big fella? Yep. Okay, go get him. This will be Heron's last hitter, no matter what.
This is a one-run game. He's gone.
Oh, yeah.
But you reward this guy because he's got a 4-run lead. So here's Hector Sanchez. Sanchez hitting at 172. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Just a little batting practice fastball. Started out their bat.
Knocked down by the young catcher Yamamoto. And that's dribble foul. It's 1-2.
Time, got to shake it off. Not an easy thing to do. For Sanchez, that hurt.
And this should end the inning on a fly ball to center field, and that'll do it. Giants on the board twice. We will head to the 8th at 6-2 Marlins.
fan, the playoff action is getting really exciting. The Warriors taking on the Grizzlies in Game 3 coming up on Saturday. Right now, they stand at game apiece. The series split, so this is a big one, guys. You can get all your Warriors Playoff Central coverage at Comcast Sports Net Bay Area. Coverage starts at 4 o'clock, pre and post game. Don't miss a minute. Wait.
Don't miss a minute. Amy G. Just laying it on the line. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Chi taking the ball for the 15th time. 1-0 on the year with a 3.86 ERA.
So here's Mache. Real Muto. And a strike at the knees.
Now you saw the ERA for Chi 3.86. Yesterday, the start of the game, it was a 2.02 ERA. He had an outing yesterday where 2/3 of innings he gave up 3 runs. And the reason I bring that up is that this is the one good thing about being a bullpen pitcher and a relief pitcher as opposed to being a starting pitcher. Starting pitcher, you have a bad outing, you got to wait 5 days to get back out there. But a relief pitcher, he can get back out there the next night. Get rid of that big negative.
No balls, 2 strikes. Echeverria on deck, 6-2. Marlins. Giants with 2 more innings as this is bounced sharply to Crawford.
Real Muto runs well for him.
He got done. He must be young. Old pitchers don't run like that. Here's Echeverria.
Well, there's a reason they don't run like that. They can't. Real Muto, 24 years old. Guy had 18 stolen bases last year in Jacksonville. You think about the fast catchers we played against. Craig Biggio, John Stearns. The guy we didn't play against but was very quick was Ivan Rodriguez. Not that many catchers. Get back there in a squad 120 times a year or more. Steal a base.
None of those guys are really big guys. 1 ball and 1 strike to Echeverria. 1-2. In the dirt. 2-2. Giants in the bottom of this inning will have Nori Aoki to lead things off.
Checking out Bruce Bochy's statistics lifetime. He had a stolen base. 1. 9 years. That impresses me.
Absolutely.
We'll have to ask him about that tomorrow.
More work for Crawford. He gets a big hop. Six ground balls to Crawford tonight. So this is Reed Briniak. And a strike to Briniak. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And that's just a bit high. Briniak is 1 for 12 on the season and 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter. And that's wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order, D. Gordon to hit if Briniak reaches. And he got him, and that'll end the inning. So a nice inning for Machi. 2 ground balls and a strikeout. So top of the order coming up. At bat, the number 1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment with in-game live highlights, live look-ins. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. New pitcher. It's Mike Dunn when it's time for a change. Things speedy oil change and auto service. The oil change tune-up and repair expert.
Take a look at the numbers for Mike Dunn. 13 times that he has come into a game. Good stuff. 10 strikeouts in 2 2/3. Dunn, one of 2 left-handers they have in the bullpen for the Marlins.
And Aoki takes down low.
Got a baseball hat on. You can just tell it's a baseball hat.
Get off the facing of the second deck.
Dunn's got a good fastball. Mid-90s fastball. You got a good curveball, slider, strikeout stuff.
One-two pitch. Tap slowly to Echeverria. And Echeverria is going to throw him out. Stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball. Esurance Giants postgame live. Highlights, reaction, analysis all coming up right after the game.
A lot of Warrior fans here tonight. Well, really all over the Bay Area.
As it should be. Here's Panic, who's 0 for 3.
Oh, they learned that this year. But some anxiety as they lost game 2, and everybody wants to get to that game 3 to make things right.
Pagan on deck, and then Posey.
One thing about basketball, it's all 7-game playoffs. There's no 5 games. There's no 1 game see you later. Wild card matchups.
And a base hit to left field for Panic. It's a good example of somehow you get a left-hander and it helps you out a little bit. You don't pull off.
Joe Panic's got a pretty solid front shoulder. I agree with you. I mean, it almost looks like it even stays more solid and more in the one piece when he's facing lefties.
Pagan is 1 for 3. This will be his first at bat right-handed in this game. And he takes a strike.
They're not giving up.
Absolutely not. Foul down the right field line and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Pagan trying to move the line along, get on for Buster Posey. And again out of play. It stays 0-2.
94-mile-an-hour hard fastball. I gotta believe this guy's a Hunter Pitch fan.
Yeah, you think? Tell you what, if he scoots down on a scooter in the Embarcadero, there might be some folks, unless he's 5'2" and we don't know it.
Or 7'3".
Pagan out of play.
Done. It's just bearing down on the strike zone. Mid-90s country hardball at time. He's got a couple of different breaking balls, a curveball and a slider that he'll feature. Late inning guy is even closed for the Marlins.
And he shoots this one to Echeverria, and they get one there, but not in time.
A little funkiness on it.
A little English. So they get the 1 out, and here's Buster Posey.
Ball kind of comes back on Echeverria. Pretty good wrestle job right there. Plants his feet. Gunslings one over to D. Gordon. They don't have a fast runner right there. That would have been a spectacular double play. Pagan, however, he can run.
Buster's 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 7th. Fouls this one down the right field line and out of play.
Buster Posey was swinging for 2 runs right there, folks.
That's his face done during the regular season just twice. He's 0 for 2. He gets the call, 0-2. He's not happy about that one.
There's been a couple of corners that have been called on Posey. One away earlier in the bat that wasn't really striking here. Not happy giving up a second strike to that slider. He thought it was in. You don't see Posey argue very much.
And he bounces this one to Prado, and that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up, 6-2 Marlins.
Marlins, 7 o'clock tee time, pregame live at 6:30. Plus complete pre and post game coverage. Giants insider Alex Pavlovich will be with you here at CSNBayArea.com. The home of your world champion Giants is right here at Comcast Sports Net. It's going to be Tim Lincecum on the hill tomorrow, taking on a right-hander, Jared Cosart. So join us if you would.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair expert.
There are the numbers for Affeldt, off to a very solid start here through 12 games.
Gordon with a swing and a miss. He's 2 for 4. And he shoots this one into left field, a base hit. Came in hitting .430. His average will go up. How about that?
Yeah, he's a pretty special player. And the on-base percentage for D. Gordon started at .455, and it has gone up as well.
Here's Prado. And a strike to Prado. Prado tonight has 3 hits. He's now hitting .312. And a quick 0-2. Outside with a fastball from Affeldt.
full-on ball game. Certainly a situation where you see a base stealer try and steal. If D. Gordon can get himself a jump, you'd see him go. They know, the Marlins know, that Affeldt is a guy that gets ground balls.
No swing. 2-2.
Marty Foster, first base umpire, saying no swing. Let's take a look. Did he go? Oh, Marty, you're killing me.
Yeah, Marty, come on. By the way, we should mention, Mike, that we were treated like kings last night at the Fairmont. The group of men, club called the Landsmen, took care of us, honored us, made us feel real special.
They really did. It was a great group of guys, and we really enjoyed the evening. Thanks, fellas. We tip our caps to you.
Cap slowly to Crawford. Crawford's going to get the out at first. So, good night. Had by a lot of laughs. Our old friend Kevin O'Brien was part of the group that honored us. Stanton is 1 for 3. And according to our notes, Stanton has never faced Affeldt before. Gordon at second. 6-2 Marlins here in the ninth. And Stanton with a big swing and a miss on that slow curveball.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Stanton's 6'6". A lot of guys that tall will have a natural uppercut in their swing. You saw that last swing as to how flat his bat stayed in the strike zone, and I think that's the one thing about Stanton that jumps off the page when you compare him to other tall hitters. It's real easy to project what this guy's going to do, given the success that he's had in his young career. And look at that swing, and the strength behind it. Very special.
And Affeldt gets the call to even the count at 2-2.
Stanton, 25 years old. 5 years of big league experience. He's got 161 home runs already. And this guy's going to make a charge at the record.
There's a base hit into left field. Gordon's coming in. Here's the throw home. It is not in time. So it'll be an RBI. Second on the throw for Stanton.
Well, the difficulty of this play was trying to field the short hop. As Aoki gambles, he goes over everybody's head, and Buster staying with the short hop. If Buster ever touched T. Gordon, you see Affeldt kind of blocking him as well, but I'm not sure if T. Gordon ever touched home plate.
So here's Ozuna, who homered in the 7th. The breaking ball misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, when Gordon ran by home plate, we're going to look here to see, he actually thought about going back.
And he may have dragged his toe on it.
This has hit the belt. Belt will flip it to Affeldt.
But what we couldn't see is if he was tagged before he could drag that toe.
But Gordon thought about going back, and then he's like, well, that's probably not going to look too good.
He doesn't hit the plate there, but then as he lifts it up, does he drag his toe across the plate? Yeah, he did. But you can't really tell. Buster tagged him before he did that.
Here's Suzuki, who's 1 for 4. Ichiro singled in the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-2 in favor of the Marlins. Here's Stanton at 3rd. One and 2. Tap to Affelt, and that'll end the inning. Giants need 5 to tie and 6 to go home. 7-2 Marlins.
By Honda. We think Dan Herron's that guy. And we do that because he did it with his arm, he did it with his bat. Tonight, a couple of hits, knocked in a couple runs, scored a couple runs, and 7 solid innings of pitching, 8 hits allowed, a couple runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda.
(7-2) Miami, and the Marlins have a new pitcher.
It'll be AJ Ramos, 15th game that Ramos has come into. No record, 1.20 ERA. Look at the strikeouts, 20 strikeouts in 15 innings, just 12 base runners allowed. So he has been lighting it up. And he's got a low 90s fastball, really good changeup, and a slider. The fastball changeup combination is what has been his bread and butter.
So here's Belt, who's got a couple of hits tonight. And Belt swings and misses. Belt was ready for it, he just couldn't catch up to it.
A couple of Texans going at each other. Belt from Nacogdoches and Ramos from Lubbock, Texas, went to Texas Tech.
Maxwell on deck. And Belt takes in the dirt. Gets home plate umpire. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I got to believe these two guys have played against each other in college. Brandon Belt and A.J. Ramos. Ramos signed in 2009. Belt signed in 2010. Belt went to the University of Texas. Ramos from Texas Tech.
Belt out of play down the left field line.
That's one thing you do keep an eye on. You come out of a conference, you look and see how many guys signed, played professionally, how many guys made it to the big leagues. Guy's got 2 hands full of souvenirs.
2-2 pitch. Here it is to Belt. Belt rolls it over to Morris. Morris will step on the bag. Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here on Comcast Sports in the Bay Area. So here's Maxwell. Maxwell's 1 for 2. He's got a sacrifice fly. First pitch swinging, and he skies this one into center field for Ozuna. 2 outs. And that'll bring to the plate Brandon Crawford. So here's Crawford. Crawford hit a long drive into Triple's alley. He's going to bounce this one to Gordon. And Gordon's going to make the play. And that's the ball game. So the Giants go quietly in the 9th. And game 1 of this 4-game series goes to the Marlins. And they do it behind Dan Herron, who pitched well. And he also got the biggest hit in the game off of Tim Hudson.
Yeah, kind of a weird night. The pitcher did come up with both great efforts with the arm and with the bat. Second day in a row, Giants pitching has given up 17 base hits.
Well, that's unusual. So the win tonight goes to the Marlins, and the final score is the Marlins 7 and the Giants 2. Thanks for joining us. Esurance postgame live with interviews and wrap starts right now.